us are hesitant to discuss in public. Talking openly about our marriage struggles can feel like airing dirty laundry. So when a real couple pulls back the curtain on their marriage, it's an eye-opener for all of us, especially when that couple is in the spotlight. So here, getting candid about the high points and the heartaches of their 20 years together is Raine, Maida, and Chantel. Kreviazuk. Hello. Thank you for coming in. I mean, you're so celebrated as writers and musicians and artists, and you've co-written songs for so many artists like Kelly Clarkson and Drake and Gwen Stefani and Avril Lavigne and Carrie Underwood. And it's a relationship that works for so many reasons, which is why I think it's really nice that we can sort of peel back the layers and talk about marriage in its reality. There is a documentary coming out called I'm Gonna Break Your Heart, and you guys really peel back the layers on what happens between you two. I'm just gonna show you a clip right now. Take a look.
When's the last time you spent a whole day together? You both really need something here and nobody's giving it. How's that supposed to work?
I just feel like we need things to happen so that we are connected.
It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Give me a chance.
Nice. Before I say anything else, the coaching that you see in that documentary, you two have always been very proactive about getting coaching for your marriage. Why is that?
Well, I think marriage, has these waves to it and different growth spurts. I mean, who Raine married is a different, almost completely different woman. I hope at my essence I'm the same, but I've mothered 3 children, he's fathered 3 children, and different things come into that, and we've had our own sort of separate careers that, we've had unique experiences, and so I think that the key is to try to keep that connection alive, right, and share discovery together, and that's why we wanted to make an album together, I think, to really connect musically. And it was a really great way of doing another wave of coaching.
Raine, was that tough for you, having a camera there documenting all of that? Because it's a personal situation, creating this art together. And you're sort of opening that up.
Yeah, the idea was, to be honest, the idea to bring cameras in was, we've been trying to do this forever. If we were to cut out the stuff that gets us there, the relationship stuff, it would have been really disingenuous.
Let's talk about the stuff that gets you there. Speaking to the coach, is the coach able to show you blind spots in your relationship that you were not able to see?
Of course.
Like, what were some of the things that came out of it? We're all listening intently, because for those of us who are married, we all know marriage is work. I mean, there's this beautiful perception of marriage being this walk down the aisle and then you say, I do, and then no one ever talks about what happens after that.
There's way too much focus on the wedding.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I'm seeing repeat itself is that the very complaints or struggles I might be having that I project maybe on my husband. If you go and do coaching, it's interesting that the coach will be able to sort of draw out that the partner actually is feeling the exact same thing. And you can see where you're presenting the exact same triggers, and it's very, very incredible what can come out of that. So we just had a situation like that the other day where I was like, well, I'm feeling this, and my husband was able, because of our coaching, I think,
right,
to be able to say, well, actually, that's how I feel, and here's why.
Right.
And I think that that's ultimately the goal, right? Is to find that middle ground, and we in all of life we create this like war mentality, and it's so nice to be able to make it more about a collaboration. Hence the metaphor of making music together is so wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, instead of someone wins, someone loses, how about everybody leaves feeling like they gave something? Everyone leaves feeling like they went away with something. They gained and gave. That's really what it should be all about.
In terms of helping those of us that are watching in marriages right now, If you were to look at the things that get, and I know you guys aren't therapists, but we can all learn lessons from each other. If you were to look at the trajectory of a marriage, when things start to break down, is it a bunch of little things? Is it a bunch of little built-up resentments? Is it a bunch of feelings of not being heard? Or does it sort of just hit you like a big thing, like a slap across the face, like something's wrong here?
I mean, what I love about Dr. John and through the coaching, I mean, he comes from he's a scientist. You know, that's his background. So it's the science of the brain.
In communications for couples.
Yeah, and the communication part is really what it's all about. And he has this one little thing. I mean, he says a couple or a few great things throughout the documentary. And one of them is just about little heartbreaks, and it's like anything, it adds up, you know. And I think a lot of that stuff applies beyond marriage. It's just relationships, you know. And there's so much value in someone like him for us.
Yeah, he talks about, you know, when there is this little ouch, we're triggered.
That seems like a big ouch, like you just stabbed yourself.
Because I'm the maximizer in the relationship. They call it maximizer and minimizer. And I think Raine will say, well, that happened to me 4 times yesterday, but I don't really care.
I didn't say anything.
And I'll say, well, you should, please. I want you to, so that I know. So that when you do it to me, I can say something. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But no, it's like if I'm always going to him with my ouches, but he doesn't give me his, then I just seem like the hysterical, you know, other half. So it's like I have to take down how I see my ouches or how I present them. And then he has to do I hate the word, it's so annoying, but the lean in and say, you know, when he has an ouch, which I think for guys, that's not as typical to articulate
to vocalize that every single time.
No. Yeah.
Okay, that's really, actually, I can take something from that. That's an interesting one. A couple of things I wanted to mention, well, one in particular, and it was Raine's post that you put up on IG, and I just thought it was beautiful and just shows the commitment that you two have to your relationship. He said, one of the best things a father can do for his kids is love their mother. That picture, first of all, is stunning.
Really? Okay.
And yeah, it's gorgeous. And
you know what I loved about
shows-
it, actually, was that it was him saying he loved the picture of me, which I was like, okay, you can have that. Yeah.
That's right. That's, yeah. So listen, guys, it's not like there was ever a major issue. I think that what we can all learn is that being diligent and staying on top of your relationship is the sort of thing that's going to keep you going on and on.
Well, it's like anything in life, right? I don't think that if you wanted, you know, you got in your house, if you let it fall apart, you wouldn't. You have to maintain it.
That's
and I think our relationships need to be nurtured, and like a plant, they need the sunlight, they need the water.
They do. I didn't mention the age of your kids, 15, 13, and 11, which is amazing because you both look about 18. Information on the documentary. Yes, you look very good. I'm going to break your heart. You can go to our website, that's cityline.tv. The single Low Light will be released on February 1st, and the album will follow in early spring, along with a tour announcement.
Yes.
Okay, in mid-February. That's going to be awesome. Both of you, thank you so much for your honesty.
Thank you so much.